Hi, Brianna here, and today I will be covering Thomas Jefferson's legacy. According to Jan Lewis and Peter Onuff in their article American Synecdoche, Thomas Jefferson as Image, Icon, Character, and Self, Jefferson's legacy is identified with the nation. Jefferson did write the Declaration of Independence, which was one of his greatest achievements and was an expression of the American mind. In this article, they talk about the filmmaker Ken Burns, and he puts it that one approaches Thomas Jefferson with the sense that he is, in a biographical sense, the holy grail of American history. Thomas Jefferson not only wrote the Declaration of Independence, but he also drafted a bill for establishing religious freedom in 1777 in Virginia. This was one of the most venerated documents in American political history, according to Daniel Dressback in his article, A New Perspective on Jefferson's Views on Church-State Relations. Dressback states that this bill was one measure in an ambitious revision of the laws of Virginia commenced following the political separation from England, and that the religious bill is a passionate affirmation of intellectual and spiritual independence, which in many respects resembles Jefferson's better-known Declaration of Independence. Historians of Jefferson describe the bill as a culmination of Jefferson's efforts to erect an unbreachable wall of separation between church and state, and make religious opinions forever private and too valuable for intrusion. This bill reflects Jefferson's legacy because it reflects the religious clause in the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. In a landmark case, Jefferson versus the Board of Education regarding religion in the state, the Supreme Court frequently looked back on the works of Jefferson and Madison through the Virginia bill over the relationship of religion and church and state. This also reflects Jefferson's legacy because the Religious Freedom Bill was looked at by the modern Supreme Court. When it came to slavery, Jefferson owned slaves but also wanted to enact legislation that would result in slavery's abolition. Virginia did draft a law in 1778 that prohibited the importation of enslaved Africans. They also proposed an ordinance in 1784 that banned slavery in the Northwest Territories. Jefferson was a consistent opponent of slavery despite owning slaves. He believed it was contrary to the laws of nature. He also thought that the decision to emancipate slaves would have to be part of a democratic process. From the mid-1770s until his death, Jefferson advocated for the abolition of the slave trade, for slave owners to improve slavery's most violent features, living conditions, and moderating physical punishment, that those born into slavery after a certain date would be declared free, followed by total abolition. And this becomes his legacy based on slavery, although many pro-slavery advocates after his death believed that if you could improve slavery, then abolition was unnecessary. However, Jefferson did believe that slaves were an inferior race and that blacks and whites would not be able to live peacefully. The emancipation of slaves would cause a race war, and believed that keeping slaves in bondage with those in favor of and against would cause civil war that would destroy the Union. His predictions were right, and in 1861, civil war did break out over slavery, creating a divide and separation into two nations, the Union and the Confederacy. This is Thomas Jefferson's legacy on religion and slavery. Thank you.